Croy chapter 24, English to Greek number 5. This is a long sentence, so we're going to break it down into parts. You came through the desert to bring bread to the young children. Let's just focus on that part for now. You came through the desert. For you plural, y'all came. We just need a verb for coming or going. Greek has a couple, poruomai or erkomai. We'll start with erkomai, which is our most familiar. Erkomai, elusomai, aelthon, elelutha. We need an aorist. We need the third principal part. Aelthon has these various endings for the second aorist, and we would have aelthete, y'all came. That'll work fine. Just for practice while we're here, let's look at this other verb, poruomai, porusomai, eporusamein. This is a deponent verb, which means it uses middle passive endings throughout. Here's a little question to ponder. The third principal part gives us the aorist middle. The sixth principal part gives us the aorist passive. What will the difference be for a deponent verb? The answer is none at all. This is a redundancy or something superfluous in the language. The aorist middle will mean I came. The aorist passive will mean I came. In both cases, we ignore either the middle voice or the passive voice because it's a deponent verb. All right, so if you wanted to use the aorist middle, here are our various endings. We would want the second person plural, eporusastai, eporusaste, y'all came. Or we could go with the sixth principal part, the aorist passive, which is far more common, eporuthete. So we have lots of options for how to say you came. Any of these will work. You came through the desert. For through the desert, we want the preposition dia plus the genitive, which means through. Desert is one of these funny words which has a second declension ending, but is in fact feminine. Dia tes eremu. You came through the desert to bring bread. When you see this to, we have a purpose clause. In order to would be a more full way to say it. We now know a couple ways to express purpose in Greek. In Croy chapter 24, we learned hina and the subjunctive, and that would work just fine. But since this is a chapter on the infinitive, we'll think about the ways we can say this with the infinitive. Pros plus the infinitive in the accusative case, or ace plus the infinitive. Either of those will work for a sense of purpose. What's our verb for to bring? Pharaoh, oiso in the future, einenkan. So we could make a present infinitive, pros ta pharain. We've added the present active infinitive ending to Pharaoh. Or we could use the aorist, pros ta einenkain, ace ta einenkain. What's happened here? We've taken the third principal part. We've taken out the augment, which means instead of einenkan, we have n, just the short epsilon. And we've lopped off the aorist ending and put the infinitive ending. Second aorist infinitives are the same ending as present infinitives. So either of these expressions would mean in order to bring. In order to bring bread, we just want the accusative of bread. You could say ton arton with the article or not. And to the young children, this is just a new vocabulary word, tois paidiois. We want a dative for the indirect object. Ace ta einenkain, in order to bring bread to the children, to the young children. Putting it all together, eporusaste, or one of the alternative verbs, aelthete. You went through the desert in order to ace or pros ta einenkain arton tois paidiois. All right, next phrases. But they have gone to another place, but they have gone. Well, let's take our verb for to go. Erkomai, elusomai, aelthon, elelutha. Have gone is perfect. So let's take elelutha. Normally perfects, the fourth principal part, end in kappa alpha. And our normal perfect endings are ka, kas, ke, and so on. This happens to be a perfect that ends in a theta, so you just skip the kappa. And so elelutha, eleluthas. And because we want to say they have gone, we'll use the third plural. But, eleuthasi, they have gone, eis heteron topon, to another place. Heteron in the accusative, after eis, topon, accusative. With the result that, let's use hoste plus the infinitive, and the bread is no longer good. Let's just start with the easy part, no longer. Meketi. Uketi and meketi mean no longer. And we want to use meketi because we're using an infinitive. And you use me with infinitives, you use uk with indicatives. Meketi, hoste plus an infinitive. So the infinitive of to be, of is ani. And with an infinitive, the subject is in the accusative. So ton arton, ani. The bread is no longer agathon, good. And although this is a verb of being and becoming, so we're used to using predicate nominatives, in fact, in this case, the most important thing is that whatever comes after the verb of being or becoming should agree with what's before it. So if the subject is accusative, then the predicate is accusative, with the result that no longer is the bread, is it good?